Good morning. Good morning, Angia. How you doing today? Let's start off with what we got going on today. Got nothing until 10 o'clock, so that's nice. University of Michigan sentiment, the preliminary. U of M's 5-year inflation. Baker rigs, total rig count, and oil count are at 1 o'clock. That's all the news we got for today. So it is Friday. There are no restrictions on TPTs. I'm just going to double check that just in case I'm wrong. Let me log in here. No restrictions for today on TPT. And it's looking like that is it. All right. So no restrictions on any of the other ones. At least I haven't gotten any emails about them yet. Iran's nuclear talks will take place within a 60-day period after signing. No agreement is made regarding the nuke file and the current memorandum. And future administration of the Strait will be resolved as a regional matter through dialogue and joint decision-making between Tehran and Oman. Iran's foreign ministry says the framework text is nearly finalized, so that should technically, should pull the price of oil down a little bit. But right now we got NQ, ES, and YM all on an upswing. In the overnight, we have that's a move. Since yesterday's open on NQ, moved 800 points. Oof. And oil is coming down. Current price is 84.50. It's a hell of a lot better than the 115 at its high. I think that was its high. Let's take a look. Oh, 123.68. I was way off on that. Back in that queue here. All right. So London high was made 5:30 a.m. Previous day's high, a little over 100 points below us at 29,542.25. The Asia low was 29,334.75. And the London low is 29,261, which is the low of the session. Currently, ES and NQ are holding above the high and day VWAP, previous day's New York, and the overnight. Let's take a quick look at YM. YM's above the first deviation band, and it's heading toward a low volume node right now. It's actually in a still within a that 70% range right now, but watch out at 51,248. That's an area it's probably not gonna spend a lot of time there. The ECB says it will not pre-commit to any particular rate path. And they also say we are determined to bring inflation back to 2% target over the medium term. Trump says that he has canceled scheduled bombings against Iran. And NVIDIA is starting the Vera CPU sales pitch to Chinese clients. Oil's dropping, stocks are rallying. Tell that is by looking at the chart. Thank you, Financial Juice. The upgrades, the S&P upgrades NVIDIA to AA. Outlook is stable for NVIDIA. And SpaceX's registration statement declared effective on June 11th. SpaceX IPO is said to draw more than 70 billion in retail orders. Something we may want to watch if anybody's buying stocks is Samsung. Google is looking at them for future AI chips as capacity tightens. Bezos is talking about buying parts of companies that can benefit from tech. S&P GR bulletin says Broadcom's first AI tranche is modestly credit negative. So let's get a little bit silly and look at Broadcom here. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? So Broadcom is sitting around the point of control and the value area low. Working point of control for Broadcom is 314.20. I wouldn't mind throwing an option on around 289, 300, somewhere around there right now. High volume at 341, high volume at 311. Working price goes all the way down to 290. If I was going to put an option on here to buy 100 shares of this, it would be at like 290. This is not financial advice. This is just me thinking out loud. It's looking like NQ wants to push up a little bit higher. We have orders at 29,700, 29,725. We have 223 orders at 30,500. $30,500 is not as far up there as it seems. Very nice to see more movement to the upside today. Yesterday's PA was disgusting. Good thing I slept in. Yes, I wish I would have slept in yesterday. I had not my worst day, my worst green day yesterday. I was just irritated by the end of the session. Um, Basically, I was up yesterday. I think it was 35 or $37 per account after spending way too much time on the charts. So that do you trade options? been wanting to learn recently? I do. My option strategies are very, very simple though. I don't even use like iron condors or anything like that. I'm cash covered puts. Occasionally I'll do covered calls, but mostly it's just cash covered puts. If I want to buy a stock at a specific price, I'll throw an option on for each contract is 100 shares. Say I want to buy Broadcom at, I don't remember what price I said, say 289. Well, 290, make it a round number. I want to buy 100 shares of it at 290, put on a cash covered put at that price. I'll collect the premium. Premium's not going to be a lot. It's not like Nvidia when it first started going on that huge rip. So you collect a couple $100 in premium. If the price comes down to where your put is, you get the stock. Now, if it doesn't, you get to keep the premium. So basically, it's no harm, no foul. If you were planning on buying the stock at that price anyway, you got it at the price you wanted it. Then you have to look at the Greeks. Your delta and theta are delta, theta, gamma. You have to watch your Greeks and see what level they're at and go from there. The Greeks, it seems like a lot of people who trade options don't actually know what the Greeks even are. I've seen a lot of people trying to trade options without using them, and it you may get lucky, but that's about it. I was just watching a video by the Trading Geek. He has good videos and knows how to simplify information. The Trading Geek. I take it that's on YouTube. There's a good morning game. There is another channel on YouTube. Young guy. I think he's called In the Money. Has some pretty good information. I do like his the information that he does give. Doesn't make it very simple. I mean, it is pretty simple, but for somebody, I don't know, Jerry, if you've really looked into options trading a lot, but um, it's not for people who are just starting. Like, if this is your first time looking into options trading, probably going to be a couple out there that are a little bit easier to follow. Spend a little bit of time looking up, well, what the different types of options are. Iron condors and cash covered puts and covered calls and things like that. Um, and definitely learn about the Greeks. The Greeks are extremely important if you're going to be trading options. I feel like for teaching price action, I would direct any new person to the Trading Geek. Thank you. I appreciate that. So what do we got here? My exposure to options is probably 25%, the basics, nothing in depth. So I've heard from a lot of people, don't tell people that you're trading options because you will hear every horror story that you could possibly hear about trading options. You will lose all your money. It's going to go against you, and it's going to take you out at the knees, and you'll end up owing the brokerage $1 million. I've heard all of these things. Um, it's yes, it could happen. And if you don't know what the hell you're doing and you don't have clearly defined stop losses and take profits in, you're gonna probably lose money. Just like in the stock market, just like unless you're a buy and hold forever type person. Just like in futures and everything else, you have to have very clear stop losses. So that's one thing about options that I think a lot of people first getting into them don't realize is you can have a stop loss. You don't need to take a full loss. And if you can put a stop loss in and minimize your losses, why the hell wouldn't you? Where do you trade options on? I'm assuming it's not on TradingView directly. So you can trade options on just about any brokerage. You can trade them on the IBKR, NinjaTrader. Um, Actually, let me pull up my. Sorry, this is going to take 1 second here. Two brokerages. Options. All right. So one thing that I'm doing is trading them on Tasty Trade, TradeStation, and E-Trade. I also have a Robinhood account. Robinhood, you cannot hook to Traders Post, so that's kind of an issue for me. But TradeStation, Tasty Trade, and E-Trade are three that you can hook directly to Traders Post and use them there. You can also use Alpaca and Tradier, which I've heard good things about Tradier, but I have not used them yet. I'm going to probably open an account with them relatively soon, but as of right now, don't have one. Honestly, if you're just starting off, Robinhood is like I hate saying it because everybody will give you shit about Robinhood, but they're pretty simple to use for options. Um, Honestly, their costs and commissions are low. It's a simple platform to use. You can just download their Robinhood Legend platform, put it directly on your computer, and you have a mobile app in case you need to close out trades quickly, like say your power goes out. And the mobile app is so simple to use. You can place your orders. I mean, I wouldn't just place an order based on current price or anything. Use your charts and figure out where that stock is likely to go. Look for the high volume and low volume areas. But um, honestly, I would say for like somebody just starting out in options, just open a Robinhood account. Super easy. I'm attracted to options because I've heard the best traders come from options. Honestly, I think the best traders come from open outcry, and they're all over 60. Guys who actually worked on the floor in Chicago and New York. Those are the guys that I tend to gravitate toward when it comes to education. Not because of the experience, but because of, well, yes, because of the experience, but also that firsthand knowledge in a chaotic environment of how the market is moved. And then the advantage that the guys who survived everything going digital or electronic, the ones who managed to adapt and thrive have a bigger advantage than dummies like me who started off on electronic trading. Um, those are the guys that I go toward. I traded options. I still occasionally trade options, but not very often. During this administration, I do not want to buy and hold anything, um, not for extended periods of time, not when a tweet or a Truth Social post can move the market ridiculous amounts in minutes. I see it as the difference between driving on an automatic transmission car and a manual transmission. A lot more control and enjoyment knowing how to drive a manual. Yep. Manual transmission is, well, I guess we could call that millennial theft deterrent. That's right. Most broke traders come from options. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of dummies out there. Well, look at futures. How many people, percentage-wise, are actually successful trading futures? Not many. And it's greed, it's fear, it's knowing a very little bit but not mastering it. I don't know a whole hell of a lot. And I will never say that I do. I know enough to know what my place is. And my place is not to put on big size and call tops and bottoms and tell you where the market's going to go. I know enough to know my place. And my place is to watch a chart, mark off a couple of key levels, look at some volume, and watch the price and react to what the chart is doing. And that is all I do. I've gotten pretty good at it. Not great yet, but pretty good at it. So that's what I stick to. After, I don't know, maybe 10 more years of this, I may be great at it. Right now, no. I'm just reading and reacting. The Options Industry Council has the best free options training college level. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So thank you. That is that's a piece of information that everybody should know. The Options Industry Council has the best free options training. I'm just looking at their website right now. So yeah, thank you for that. I really appreciate that. So anybody who is looking to trade options, don't just go throw a bunch of money on a couple of contracts and cross your fingers. The optionseducation.org has on-demand seminars, and then they also have live webinars on June 17th, 18th, July 8th, and July 15th. Understanding credit spreads, the mechanics and applications. And then they have an Ask Us Almost Anything, OIC during office hours, Investor Safety Net, Protective Puts Explained, and the Collar Strategy, Your Portfolio Seatbelt. There's one in here called Understanding Credit Spreads, the Mechanics and Applications. Options Strategy Guide is on here. You can just go on there and watch it. And Navigating Options Disclosures. So I am bookmarking this right now. Go. So again, MWell, that is a piece of information that I am very appreciative of. The more you can learn, the better off you are. And just because you know it doesn't mean you have to use it. You're welcome. I did the course 2 years ago. It's very in-depth. Yeah. Honestly, I do know a lot about it. I don't use most of what I know. That information got stuck in my head, and for some reason, when I read something, it tends to stay in there. But I only use a very small amount of what I've learned about futures, about options, about stock trading, mostly because simple seems to work better for me. If I make things too complicated, I overthink things, I get analysis paralysis, and I'll shit the bed every time. So like I said, I watch the chart, have a couple of key levels, I look for volume and price action, and other than that, I just react to the chart. Can't wait until tweets stop affecting trades. It's the only thing holding me back from holding trades longer. Anything more than 100 points on NQ or 25 points on ES feels not worth the risk. You are correct. This morning, I think I've taken about maybe 300 points out of NQ. And I am now just waiting. Let's take a look at what we did here. Yeah, all NQ micro trades. So up 500 across 17 accounts. So that's $5 a point. Yeah, it's about no, it's about 100 points. Take those trades. Oh yeah, I only took 100 points. Granted, I did add into those as they were going in my favor and move my stop loss up. And yeah, yesterday, a triple Q 701 call went from 120 to 1,050 after a Trump tweet. is disgusting. Good morning, Skeletor. How you doing today? Anybody in a trade right now? Anybody get a short off that London high rejection? We just hit that low volume area at 29,580. Spending a little more time here than what I would have thought. Looking at a shorter time frame, this isn't as surprising as it was on the 15. There's more volume there than I thought there was. And that's why you should always look through a couple of different time frames, unless you're holding trades for hours. Then it'll just confuse you. All right, I can't go short in a strong uptrend, but I can wait for a retracement back to VWAP. We are sitting on that +1 deviation band. And it looks like VWAP has been holding since about 5 this morning. It's now 8. We're still above previous day's high. Ooh, point of control is now at 28,770. That's previous day's point of control. And we are just below the point of the active point of control at 630 level. Skeletor's flat, just opening his charts. And Jerry's thinking might be more of a retracement, push through the 857 level. Look at this on the hourly for a minute. So we have an all-time high, 30,807.75. Previous week's value area low is at 30,304. 400 points, 423 points over that. We had the previous week's value area high. And the point of control for last week was at 30,600. So we did have a really big, we had a big correction for a few days here. Looking at Bookmap, we got way more orders up above the current price than we do below it. Still have 130 orders up at the 700 level. We have 223 orders at 30,500. We've got resting orders going all the way up to 750. So as of right now, I'm pretty bullish. But like I said, at the current price level, I don't think I'm going to be able to just hop into a long here and let it go. I'd much rather wait for that retracement back to VWAP, get a better entry price, and sorry, it's early in the morning. My fingers are spazzing out here. All right. Yeah, wait for a retracement back to the VWAP, get a better entry price by almost 100 points, and then wait for confirmation that it's going to bounce off that and go long. And like I just said earlier, I don't know a whole hell of a lot about anything, and I am very, very simple when it comes to my strategies. And that's it right there. That is wait for the retracement back to VWAP. Once it hits VWAP, you are able to see where that price spent most of its time. Look at the point of control. Point of control is right now up here. VWAP's down here. If it comes down to VWAP and it bounces off it, you get 1 5-minute candle. If it closes above it with strength, with a lot of strength, you enter along, deal with your little bit of drawdown, or you wait for a second confirmation, bounce off of VWAP, and go in with that. If you're using Bookmap, look at the resting orders and put in a stop loss. This is not rocket surgery. If I can do it, just about anyone can. MWell 29, I caught a small short there down to the fair value gap. Market Busher has helped with my fair value gaps. The Butcher is good with the gaps. I'm going to give you that one. I pull them up occasionally. Actually, if you're using those right now, I'm just going to pull them up for you. Dave and what's his name? Zach Arbucci are the ones who actually taught me how to use fair value gaps. I don't like them. I like them occasionally, like I'll use them for confirmation, but that's about it. I'm not big on using them for I don't enter trades based on fair value gaps. I use VWAP. VWAP with an open, high, low, and close divided by 4. Somebody last week was asking why my VWAP was different than their VWAP, and that could be why. Some people, when they set up their VWAP, they have it on an open, high, low divided by 3. I use open, low, high, or open, high, low, close divided by 4. So if you're looking at bullish fair value gaps, we got the 15-minute bullish fair value gap here at 583. We got another one here at, see, the bottom of it is 548. And then another 15-minute fair value gap at 518. I would use the 518 one personally because of its proximity to VWAP. This one's starting at 445. Yeah, these are only a couple hours old here. There's nothing on this chart that's from yesterday or the day before. So also, I like the 15s better than the 5s. The 15s, they tend to hold a little bit more weight. But I threw those up there for you, Will. I'm sure you have them on your chart, but at least here everyone can see what it is you're talking about. Will does the 15 as well. Wouldn't mind waiting for this, or I'm sorry, wouldn't mind taking a long if I was using fair value gaps off of this rejection here, the bottom of the 15-minute fair value gap. But I'm not going to enter while this candle's still red. I would much rather wait for this to turn green and use it on, or go into it on strength rather than on weakness. If you're trading shorter time frame, if you're using like a 1-minute chart, yeah, I wouldn't. Nah, I'm waiting on this one. And this is why. This is still a bullish channel though, above VWAP, above the first deviation band. On the 1 minute, it looks like we got a pretty strong downtrend. But if you zoom out a little bit, like I always say, look to the left, people. This is still bullish. Creating that low a day and then just bouncing up. And again, Bookmap is, oh, we're getting a couple of more orders here. Got about 50 orders down at 550 level. We got 33 orders at 560. Getting some orders on at 570 as well. And a few of the orders are coming off up above us. So has there been a stupid tweet or open up my Trump tracker here? Because apparently you need this when you're there we go. Let's see what dumb shit's happening today in the White House. I had nothing in here right now. Nope, nothing on the Trump tracker right now. This is really strange. I'm in the green on all of my accounts except for one. And I have them all copied, so I don't know what the heck is going on with my TPT account, but for some strange reason, I'm down $100 in this. Down 185 in this. I got $15 until my max daily drawdown for that one. Red news at the bottom of the hour. We have, where on earth did my financial juice go? Oh, there it is. Michigan sentiment, inflation, that's at 10 o'clock. Hey, GCX Factor, what's going on? And Keith Smith. How are you fine fellas doing this morning? I'm going to turn everything off here for un momento. Yeah, I'm going to go silent here for a few minutes because I can't think and talk at the same time. Now, this is a Sacred Prophet Tom Hartman indicator, and this is just levels. Now, the levels you can set to sessions, time frames. You have on mine, it's actually I think this is pretty much stock. I don't think I've changed anything here. So for the 2 hour, we've got the blue line. 1 day is red, 1 week is gold, and 1 month is yellow. All of these time frames are at key levels. Or I'm sorry, all of these lines are at key levels. So these blue lines are daily levels. So for this session, that daily level. All of these daily levels are from yesterday and Asia market. So again, the red ones, those hold a little bit more weight than the blue ones. This is a weekly level, 28,858. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's a daily, not a weekly. The blue is the 2 hour. Now this gold one here is the 1 week. That 1 week level holds a little bit more weight than the daily and the 2 hour. So 29,077.75 is a level to look at. Just for comparison, when you pull up the volume profile, oh, I don't have a weekly volume profile on it. Yeah, I do. Never mind. Some pretty bright blue down here. It's looking like all the volume is in this range and this range. So again, we have those weekly levels in areas where there isn't as much volume. Strange. So this is your anchored, this is your monthly anchored VWAP, 25,951. Now I get it. The way that these are anchored, it's averaging out and showing your VWAPs from specific points. GCX, you're hoping the market brings some excitement today, easier trades for me. And I'm hoping it's just slow and steady grind in one direction or another. I don't want excitement. I don't want crazy movement. I want just a tiny, tiny bit of movement per candle, maybe on NQ, just 40 points per candle. Seems odd saying that, but that is pretty mellow nowadays. 40 points per candle, 4 candles in a row. No gap ups, no gap downs, no tweaks, no nothing. Just a nice, consistent, trending day. That's what I want. So I'm actually kind of excited to go through this Options Industry Council thing. I just pulled it up again. Cash is king. Why some options never deliver shares. I mean, I know why that is, but I'm still probably going to watch their stuff on it too. So Keith agrees with me. 30 to 40 points per candle is perfect. That's what I'm saying. I can take 30 to 40 points per candle and turn that into cash in my account. When you end up with these crazy movements that have been happening, it's much, much harder for me. I don't like excitement. Too old for excitement. Don't want to have a heart stroke while I'm trading. All right, we are coming down to one of the sacred profit levels here. Essentially making a double bottom around 542. The rejection off of that price here came down to, moved up from there. All right, so getting rid of these levels because I don't want to advertise for Tom too much. He's been making fun of me on Take Profit Traders live stream too much, telling me that my chart is too simple and I have nothing to look at, which really isn't wrong, but let's get rid of this heat map altogether. I don't like it. All right. Yeah, apparently this is not enough for Tom. Tom Hartman will sit here and make fun of me about having nothing on my chart. I do have a couple extra lines now though with the active point of control, but okay. Hey Nick, what indicator do you use to eyeball the area value high and low? So value area high and low on this chart is the ASFX indicator, and that is called VWAP Trading Concepts, VTC. And somebody asked me that last week, and I sent Austin a message to get the link for it. So I'm just going to go over here and grab that for y'all in case you want it. Throw it up here one more time. So I just put it in the chat. That is the ASFX indicator. And since you're asking about it, the thing that I do like, I'm going to get rid of everything else while I'm explaining this one because there we go. This is everything that comes with the indicator. You have previous day's VWAP, high of day VWAP, low of day VWAP. Current price is the red line. That's extended over here so you actually can see what it is. When New York opens, you will have this blue line, which is previous day, or session VWAP, I'm sorry. But this blue line will be the Asia session. So I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said previous day. Blue line is the Asia session. As soon as New York starts, there will be two VWAPs. You'll have the Asia session VWAP and New York session VWAP. The thing that I really like about this is it gives me all the key levels that I look at anyway, but I don't have to fiddle fart around and draw these things on my chart and have them disappear on me when as the time goes on, and I'd have to extend the writing on them because I can't remember which one's which. And this is the fun one down here. Ticker, you got MES, MNQ, and MYM. You know what the volume is. Volume is right here for everyone to see. You got price and volume. New York VWAP, if it's green, it's above it. If it's red, it's below it. Overnight VWAP. It's above overnight VWAP on all three of these. You got VWAP, previous days New York is not showing up because I don't have that on. Low of day VWAP, it is above the low day VWAP. You also know that it's above low of day VWAP. It is below high of day VWAP. That's it. It will tell you after New York session starts whether or not it is within the opening range. And it tells you whether or not the trend is strong up, mixed, down, or strong down. This is a strong uptrend. Let's see how accurate it is. Yeah, this is a pretty strong uptrend. So I think it's worth the price of entry just for saving me the 20 minutes it takes to mark up a chart. Not my favorite thing in the world to do. Yes, I do. I'm sorry, I don't remember what the question was that you're answering. Skeletor, I appreciate you. So we got an hour until New York open. Pre-market's been treating me pretty well so far. As I said, I'm up about, I think 500 per account in this, except for the one. The TPT is down by 180. So I don't like that. It was copying, so I'm going to have to figure out what the heck is going on with that one. It's copying. I'm down in one. I'm up in the rest of them. I may have had a broker to rejection on a trade. That sometimes happens. Another reason to always have your stop losses in, because if you don't, we're not trading any size today. Sorry. Because if you don't have your stop loss in, you're just playing with fire. So Tim just took a 10-point short, got a Brazilian butt lift, and is heading to work. Congratulations, Tim. Appreciate you. I want to see that ass when you're all healed up and not bruised anymore. Tim, have fun at work. Go sling some chickens. All right, NQ, trend is mixed. Now, what I was saying earlier about this just shows you where the trend is, what it's doing. Now, you know that all three of them were strong uptrends 20 minutes ago. They were all going in the same direction. And when you look at your charts, they are all doing pretty much the same thing. So NQ has switched direction a little bit here. That gives you a good indication that ES might be following it down to its VWAP. Hey, look at that. Heading down towards VWAP here. NQ is already broken through VWAP. Now, there is a high likelihood that MES is going to break through its VWAP level as well. Only because I'm looking to the left. Looking to the left, you see that MES and MNQ look pretty damn identical. When that happens, one of them is going to be a follower, one of them is going to be a leader. It's not 100%, doesn't always work that way, but it is a higher likelihood. So going over to MES, we are still looking at a downtrend. I'm going to pull up the book map right now and just take a look and see what's on MES. MES has got a mixed bag of orders. So this may be one of those times where it doesn't work. We got more orders above than below. But the orders above are actually coming off right now. Ooh, look at that. So the orders at 1750 got eaten. We still have 82 orders down at 7410. So that's an 8-point drop that should, I'm not looking at my chart, but I think that would be below the VWAP. You can call me a dumbass if I'm wrong, I won't care. 7410 is below VWAP. $74.12.50's got 111 orders on there. So yeah, it does look like MES is going to come down for the short term and follow NQ. That being said, if NQ decides to make a bit of a reversal and go back into a strong uptrend, you could get smoked. I'm just talking about likelihoods. This is not, I'm not telling you where to take your trades. I'm just saying what I've seen using this indicator on a 5-minute chart. Oh, okay. Got it. Thanks, Skeletor. Sorry, I'm kind of forgetful. I need to pull up my... Now, if you just have a standard VWAP with deviations on here, and I'll be honest with you, this, if you are just trading short time frame scalps to try and make a couple $100 a day, learn to use this. This is not financial advice, but damn, this works well. And also read Chris Drysdale's VWAP Wave book, because it's just, it's explained so well that even I could understand it. And actually, I'm going to go over this on the 1-minute chart right here. So Chris Drysdale, for those who don't know, is a really great trader, wrote the book VWAP Wave System. Now, we have a rejection here on the 1-minute off of VWAP. It comes down to that -1 deviation band. Bounces off of that, goes back up to VWAP. All right. Comes back down here and manages to break through it to the second deviation band. So you don't take your trades on the first bounce or break of anything, unless you're just gambling, in which case do what you want to do and don't talk to me about it. So you would take a short here around 532 on the opening of this candle, take that down to say 580, I'm sorry, 510. Hits that VWAP band, comes back up, you wait for the second candle confirmation, you ride that one up toward VWAP, but not exactly to it. Hold on 1 second, I will be right back. Sorry about that. The noise in the house just got to a ridiculous level. I didn't want to have to put anyone through that. So anyway, you're not taking it off the first bounce or break off of VWAP or the deviation bands. Wait for a confirmation. You don't need to take your profits exactly at VWAP or a deviation band. Cut it a little short, lock it in, or use a trailing stop. Keep bringing your stop up and up and up, the way Dave does, 10 points at a time. Again, here's a breakthrough. There's no follow through here. This is just a little bit of chop. And this is a 1-minute chart too. So you don't need to take a trade every 15 minutes. Again, gets above the deviation band, confirmation, and take that all the way back up here. Close it out at the VWAP. If it bounces off it, get in again. If it goes through it, wait for a confirmation, which we get none above the VWAP on the 1 minute through this part of the session. Here, we got another down. You take it back down towards the deviation band. Here, I probably wouldn't have gotten into this. There's too much chop. Again, confirmation here. You can follow this one. Actually, I probably would have either closed this out with like 5-10 points or at a break even as it came up. I tend to move my break evens down pretty quickly. So now here's where it gets fun. You end up with a confirmation here. Or I'm sorry, you end up with a breakdown here. There's a confirmation, but it's below the second deviation band. That's a hard level to trade. You've got the second deviation band off of VWAP. That's an area where there's a lot of rejection. So wait for the rejection or the confirmation. The hardest part about this is the waiting, and you can usually expect bigger candles around that second deviation band. So maybe a little bit harder to get into. You may have some issues on a 1 or a 5-minute chart actually doing that. So try it out first on a paper account, see how it works. Now this, back up to the first deviation band, here's a rejection. Now if you're trailing your stop loss and you follow this through the second deviation band, that's a pretty strong push through. So is this. This is kind of flat, trail your stop, and you can follow this all the way down. I know me, I probably would have taken profits long before this hit the bottom of this candle. So yeah, I'm not going to tell you where to take your profits. You do them wherever you feel comfortable. Comes back up through the deviation band, back down. So you get the point. The deviation band and VWAP is really what I like to use. Again, pushes down through the deviation band. Wouldn't have got stopped out on this candle and literally could just hold it all the way down. And on a 1-minute chart, 419 to say 270 is a pretty damn good trade. It's a good trade on any chart, but just looking at this 1-minute chart. Here, a breakthrough of the second deviation band, which continues going up, 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 gets above VWAP, hits the first deviation band, and gets rejected. I could look through hours and hours of a 1-minute chart, and it will do the same thing throughout the entire 12 hours I do this for. Does it on a 1-minute chart. And it does it very well on a 1-minute chart. It does it on a 5-minute chart. And it does it pretty well on a 5-minute chart. So I've heard comments from people about using VWAP and how those indicators don't work, and they may not. for you. For me, they work pretty well. And I will fully admit, um, Austin, Evan, um, James Bruce, Randy Baines, all those guys are really what I owe my to. And then reading Chris Drysdale's VWAP wave strategy, that just added to it. As soon as I read that, I literally went to the charts. I read that book, uh, and within a week of watching it, started using it. Started using it for um, confirmations on entries and exits, and it was just it really was a game changer. I think the only thing that's improved my trading more than his book was Trader's Post, and that's or improved my P&L. My P&L, that one I owe to Trader's Post. The actual trading, that's all the VWAP strategy guys like Austin and Evan and Chris Drysdale. If it wasn't for those people, be I wouldn't be doing well. And I fully admit that. I probably would have given up on trading futures months ago. The book is called VWAP Wave Strategy by Chris Drysdale. You can get it if you use a Kindle, you can get it on there. I think it may also don't get the audiobook because you want the visuals that come along with it. So get it either in a paper version or a Kindle version. There's not very many, but I do actually get whatever you want. If you prefer audiobooks, go for it. So confirmation going down through VWAP. That was a strong push through VWAP. And here's another one. And now it's down through that first deviation band, so I'm not taking the trade here. If I was paying attention and not yapping at you people, I probably would have taken a short right here to VWAP, but I didn't. So, but that's okay. There's going to be other trades later. And I, as per usual, am not in a rush. So, VWAP Wave Strategy, that's the book. If I can look it up for you, I will. I'm sorry, it is called VWAP Wave System, not strategy. Oh, no shit. All right. He also has a video toolkit full walkthrough on the YouTubes. So I think I am gonna check that out because love wave system, not strategy. Sorry about that, GCX. And Chris. Dale. I know you're not watching this, but I'm trying to screw up the name of your well thought out, well put together tutorial on VWAP trading. All right, we do have another push through here. First deviation band. But it is 8:56 right now, and the better part of profits comes from discretion. So it is 8:57 now. This is where this is the time of day when price can get a little bit choppy, sporadic, volatile, freaking wacky. I really don't want to be in a trade. I've already taken 2 trades in the pre-market and pretty sure, yeah, I'm up 514. I don't need to take another trade right now. Not gonna be greedy and start taking trades on or taking trades in a time frame where I know it can get, a little bit stupid. You wanna take a quick look at YM though. YM's still in a strong uptrend, and it says that because it is over the Asia session VWAP and over previous day high, Asia high. Previous week's point of control is over here. Ooh, we got previous week's point of control and value area low. Volume back up to do like having volume on my chart somewhere. So we have these are pretty low volume areas. Volume 725. This compared to the 8,037 on NQ and the 5,100 on ES. And 750 contracts at this price. Again, it's pushing through VWAP, but pretty big wick on this candle. It did hit the previous day, or it came close to hitting the previous day high, rejected off of that, came back up toward VWAP. And that's 25 points on YM. So that 25 points on YM, I mean, it's enough to do some damage. Brian Shannon. Yes, Brian Shannon is a great trader. Brian Shannon doesn't trade futures. I believe he does actually. I know he trades stocks and options. And don't quote me on that. I'm not here to argue with you, Hawk. I just, I do believe he does trade futures. I just don't think he puts out any, like YouTube content or anything like that. And Brian Shannon's book, I believe that was written prior to him trading futures because he was working at no, it was after I think it was after he left Goldman Sachs when he wrote that book. He ends up talking about, um, people buying stocks when the price falls drastically, and his opinion on that in certain markets. You never know when the drop is gonna stop. And there was, one company that was dropping, the people that he was, working for wanted him to push this stock, and he was dead set against it. Told clients that, it was basically a bullshit stock and they shouldn't get into it. They did it anyway, and the company failed, went to 0. So, sometimes buying cheap is exactly that, it's cheap. It's not value, it's just cheap. And there is a difference between value and cheap. Knowing the difference is is the key. Am I familiar with Tom Sosnov's Sink or Swim and Tasty Trade? I am, yes. Yeah, Tasty Trade actually has some very good educational stuff on their platform. They are definitely worth taking a look at. Oh shit, you used to trade with them? Now, I correct me if I'm wrong, you did Open Outcry in Chicago, correct? All right, we're getting some buy volume balls on ES right now. A little bit on NQ, but it's actually more on ES. Hmm. Oh yeah, for CRT. Yeah, Chicago Research and Trading. Got it. I remember looking that up the other day when you brought it up. So Chicago Research and Trading. What did you trade? You tell me it was lean hogs, and I'll get real excited. Live cattle, lean hogs, soybeans. Jeff Kahn, I have trend lines up from previous day lows, so here could be temporary support, not buying it. Yeah, it's 9:04. I'm not buying anything right now. Absolutely not. Now is not the time to be putting your ass in a vice and then twisting the handle yourself. Ooh, the bond guy. Double O Saudi, eh? Assigned to the Saudi royal family. That's a hell of a resume you got there, Hoss. Yeah, at the time you were trading there, you said it was, if I can recall correctly, 87 to 96, and you left after they went electronic, and that was the reason for it. If I recall correctly. If I don't, it doesn't really matter, but, so I was in Chicago in 94, but I was young and dumb and full of shit, so I was not working at the CME. They did big positions that only we could take down, placing iceberg orders and, before electronics. Got it. Yeah, I couldn't imagine placing, huge, like, iceberg orders, doing open outcry and ju that my stress level would be so high, I'd have a heart stroke right there on the floor. Alright, it is 9:07 right now. I need to go grab myself another cup of coffee. Like 100,000 cash bond option quantity. Whoa, that's 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 a big trade. Now you weren't putting those trades in at 100,000 at the same time. It is quite a picture, not really something I wanted to think about. Thanks, Nick. I'm sorry, what did I say this time? Gotcha. Mm, alright. Gonna go grab some coffee real quick and figure what the hell Jerry Trades Futures is talking about. I'm putting pictures in his head, apparently. You know what? Deal with it, Jerry. You like it, and you know you do. Not sure what picture is in your head right now, but I'm sure you like it. Oh, putting your own ass in a vice and then twisting the handle yourself? Please. That was 5 minutes ago. You can't expect me to remember some shit from way back then. Alright, I am gonna go grab some coffee. I'm gonna be gone for, a couple minutes. Talk amongst yourselves, be nice to each other. If you're gonna get into a trade, make sure you have a stop loss in. All right, people, I'm back. Somebody was talking last week or earlier this week about my coffee machine being the like slave labor. I use it so badly. Yes, we have 16 minutes until market open. Been using the deviation bands for maybe 6, 7 months now. So not very long. Um, but this is the one thing that I have back tested. And anybody who knows me well knows that I despise back testing. But I did want to actually look into this a little bit deeper, and I did the back testing on it. And I found it to be good. We're pushing up off of VWAP. We have some high volume nodes and the active point of control directly above us at 172 on YM. Head back over to NQ. And it's still below VWAP, so I'm not going long. Active point of control is below the current price at 432, 430, somewhere around there. It's not an exact science. Somebody's gonna give me some hate for saying that with your Fibonacci retracements. So yeah, 6 months approximately, maybe a little bit longer. I did some extensive back testing on it. Really liked the results from it, and I actually just sped up um, a chart and started taking those trades. Did that for about a it was a week. Doesn't seem like very long, but I do when I start doing things, I spend hours upon hours doing them. Did you keep using the 5-second chart, Nick, or gave up on it? I did not give up on it, but I'm also not using it to place trades. I am, I'm staring at it intensely, excuse me. Um, I've never traded on a 5-second chart, so I know me, and if I start trading on a 5-second chart, I'm gonna blow up an account, I'm gonna go on tilt, I'm gonna do a lot of stupid shit, and it's not gonna be conducive to optimum P&L results. There's the butcher. All right. So the butcher's up and running. So I'm gonna head over to the other live stream. You can watch us on either the Market Butcher or Mustang Trader, whichever you prefer. But I'm gonna head over there so I can bust Dave's chops a little bit and see what he did in his overnight session. So thank you everybody for all of the questions and comments. You actually kept me from being silent this morning. I appreciate you, and I will see you in about 30 seconds. I'll be right back on. See you.